Welcome to Velocity This Week. My name is Christopher Durham. This is our weekly look inside the world of retailer-owned brand news with a healthy dose of insights and opinions. Thanks for watching, and of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Our first story this week comes from the UK. Late last month, British grocer Waitrose launched its new retailer-owned brand range, Japan Menu, an innovative, delicious, and high-quality range bringing great Japanese-inspired food to your plates. The range includes new products that will span across ready meals, main dishes, sides, and snacks. You see here the packaging, so nice work on the ready meal there. Take a look at the actual food here. You see some dumplings, tempura, edamame. All this looks tasty. And Charlotte DiCello, Waitrose commercial director, said, "I'm particularly excited about our new Japan Menu range, having enjoyed so much of it growing up, as my mom is Japanese. So much care and consideration have gone into each dish to ensure we're offering the very best Japanese-inspired menu." She goes on to say, "We've seen significant growth in customer demand for Japanese foods. So to be launching this delicious and high-quality curated range that can be enjoyed by anyone in the comfort of their own home is hugely exciting for all of us at Waitrose." The Japan Menu range has exclusively been created by the Waitrose team. They have consulted with Yukigomi and the Asian Leadership Collective to ensure that they considered cultural traditions, and they created the most incredible dishes to allow customers to create the full Japanese experience at home. Waitrose also launched reusable bamboo chopsticks, as well as a selection of John Lewis cookware that make the perfect serving dishes for the Waitrose Japanese Menu range. In addition, Waitrose has launched 3 new items in their premium brand, number 1. They're really bonsai plants that live within the horticulture range. I cannot say that word for anything, but we'll try again, horticulture range, as well as a first-to-market Ikebana flower bouquet. Ikebana, if you don't know, is the art of Japanese flower arranging. It's a symbol of refinement with minimalist and precise arrangement. Ikebana is an ancient Japanese tradition of artisan floristry. I personally love Japanese food, so would love to have this here in the U.S. If not, I'll try and pick it up next time I'm in the U.K. Nice work, Waitrose. Late last week, John B. Sanfilippo & Son announced that it has completed the acquisition of certain assets, including inventory, a private brand manufacturing facility in Lakeville, Minnesota, and customer relationships from Treehouse Foods, relating to its snack bar business, for approximately $61.3 million in cash. The purchase price included approximately $37.3 million worth of inventory. Jeffrey T. Sanfilippo, CEO of John B. Sanfilippo & Son, said, "This is a momentous day for our company as we close the largest and most transformational acquisition in our history. This acquisition significantly accelerates our product diversification strategy and allows us to offer our private label customers a complete offering of snack bars." Our next story comes from CVS Pharmacy. It follows the launch in April of their retailer-owned brand Gold Emblem refillable bottled water. You see it here. The aluminum bottle is, of course, reusable and recyclable, and it really builds on their latest innovations and ultimately works towards their goal to reduce single-use plastic and retailer-owned brand packaging and use in operations by 50% by 2030. The retailer is working to ensure that all retailer-owned brand packaging is 100% reusable, recyclable, and compostable, or can be returned to a local CVS store to be properly disposed of by 2030. So let's take a look at a few of the SKUs. The 15-plus SKUs include reusable storage bags you see here, dinnerware, as well as compostable cutlery, paper straws, napkins and cups, and refillable water bottles. The Federal Trade Commission in 17 states have filed a lawsuit against Amazon accusing the retailer of using 3 illegal tactics, which led to higher prices, harmed companies that sell their goods on its marketplace, and made it impossible for any real competitor to challenge its dominance. The lawsuit centers on accusations that Amazon punishes third-party sellers in a variety of ways, including making it harder to find their products in search results unless they pay expensive fees and contract with Amazon shipping and logistics services. The filing claims fees can consume as much as 50% of the revenue. And of course, Amazon vehemently denies that it engages in illegal anti-competitive practices. David Zapolsky, the company's senior vice president of global public policy and general counsel, wrote in a statement, "We fundamentally disagree with the FTC's allegations, which are in many cases wrong or misleading, and with their overreaching and misguided approach to antitrust, which would harm consumers, hurt independent businesses, and upend long-standing and well-considered doctrines." So what's going on here? Well, Lena M. Khan, FTC chair, has a slightly different take on it, as you would expect. She says, "Our complaint lays out how Amazon has used a set of punitive and coercive tactics to unlawfully maintain its monopolies. The complaint sets forth detailed allegations noting how Amazon is now exploiting its monopoly power to enrich itself while raising prices and degrading service for the tens of millions of American families who shop on its platform and the hundreds of thousands of businesses that rely on Amazon to reach them. Today's lawsuit seeks to hold Amazon to account for these monopolistic practices and restore the lost promise of free and fair competition." Now, I'm certainly no attorney, nor do I play one on television, but as always, I have opinions. And what I know is today, unlike any other time in history, I can buy any product anywhere at almost any price and any quality and have it delivered to my doorstep within hours, days, weeks, and much of that was driven by Amazon. So am I an Amazon hater? Absolutely not. I think it's done wonders for the business of retail and certainly for the business of private brand, which is what we discuss here. So how does this impact retailer-owned brands? Honestly, it doesn't right now. Retailer-owned brands isn't a piece of this lawsuit. I can only imagine it's on the back burner somewhere and we could see it in the future. We all know the conversation around Amazon about how it has been accused of using seller data to create new products, stealing IP, you name it, the litany of complaints about private brand in general. My caution, as always, to the industry is hate, love, like, whatever you are about Amazon. It doesn't really matter. If we want private brand to continue to grow, if we want retailers to continue to be able to own brands, the defense of Amazon is a mandate. Going back to the earliest days of retailers, the Sears and the Pennies and Montgomery Wards and A&Ps, private brand has always been an integral part of what we do. And they have honestly always been able to create national brand equivalent products. They have always been able to innovate. They have always been able to locate their products in the most advantageous way to sell them. I fundamentally think they're wrong and they'll hurt the industry if we let them through. If you've got a lobbyist out there in Washington, fight for private brands right now. We all should be. In our final story this week, Kroger has released its annual environmental, social, and governance report, sharing progress on the retailer's ESG strategy, what they call Thriving Together, Zero Hunger, Zero Waste milestones. As in past reports, retailer-owned brands, what they call our brands, what the rest of the world calls private brand, private label, has played a key role in how they're bringing these goals to life and the strategy. We'll take a look at it, but look below if you'd like to see the entire report. It's extensive and there's a lot of cool stuff in it. I'll leave a link. At the higher level, Kroger's Zero Hunger, Zero Waste commitments aim to drive positive impacts for people. This is their words. And for the planet by increasing access to fresh, affordable food, responsibly stewarding natural resources by reducing emissions, waste, and food waste, and building more sustainable, equitable, and resilient food, health, and consumer goods systems. It's not really a surprise here. Kroger manufactures retailer-owned brand food items at 32 Kroger-operated food processing plants across the country. So it's a big manufacturing operation. It has a lot of levers it can pull, including 16 dairy processing facilities. Other manufacturers produce the balance of their products. According to Kroger specifications, the retailer has 4 $1 billion brands in their portfolio: Kroger, Private Selection, Simple Truth, which I think's at $4 billion or above right now, and Home Chef. If we take a look at the numbers, and it begins to get really interesting, 29% of total Kroger-owned brands units sold, and 45% of food items are manufactured by Kroger. 15,000 private label items in the Kroger-owned brand product portfolio. It's a huge brand product portfolio. Going into the actual ESG piece of it, the highlights for the retailer-owned brands include they've achieved a goal to source 95% of wild-caught seafood that meets established sustainable criteria. They have sourced 20.4 million pounds of fair trade certified ingredients for their Kroger-owned brand products, which is a 20.8% increase year over year. Yeah, I'm reading it's a lot of numbers. Largely driven by transitioning Private Selection coffee to fair trade certified products as part of the Sustainable Coffee Challenge and introducing new in produce and seafood. So if you don't have a fair trade coffee program right now, this is the gateway to doing sustainable fair trade programs. Customers love it. You should be doing it. Kroger has exceeded its roadmap milestone towards achieving a sustainable transition to a cage-free or higher welfare egg supply, with the goal to reach 70% cage-free by 2030. The 2022 milestone was 33% versus actual 33.6%. So they were really close. What we know based off of last week's Sustainability Summit and all the conversation that was had there, as well as just our ongoing conversation with members, is that packaging is often the easiest lever for retailers to pull, something they have control over. And it's no surprise that Kroger is going to leverage its packaging as well. So their goals rotate around that. We'll see some of the numbers here. They look to reduce the environmental impacts of Kroger-owned brand product packaging, and it's a huge focus for them. Their goals, which pave the way to their 2030 goals, are to complete a baseline product packaging footprint to fully understand current packaging impact. If you don't know what you're measuring, how are you going to measure it? Seeking to achieve 100% recyclable, compostable, and or reusable packaging for Kroger-owned brand products. In 2022, 37% of packaging met their definition of recyclable, reusable, or compostable, which is a slight decrease from 2021. Next up, their goal is to increase recycled content in packaging so that the Kroger-owned brand product portfolio collectively contains at least 10% PCR content in material and packaging. They also look to increase awareness among Kroger customers about how to properly manage the product packaging at the end of their life or at the end of the packaging's life. They also look to increase awareness among Kroger customers about how to properly manage the Kroger-owned brand product packaging at the end of its life. And finally, to reduce unnecessary packaging. This is one of those key goals that I think gets downplayed a good bit. But I don't know that we're going to recycle our way to solving this problem. So a lot of it is about reduction. In the CPG world, we've been pretty fat and happy for the last 50 years and been able to make whatever kind of packaging we want with an overabundance of headspace in areas like cereal and chips, with extra packaging and OTC and toothpaste and various other things. So there's a huge opportunity, not just for Kroger, but for every retailer to take a look and reduce that unnecessary packaging. Kroger's first step toward achieving these goals was developing that packaging baseline, which we spoke about a moment ago, to assess the current state and prioritize actions on their roadmap to 2030. The retailer conducted this work in 2022, capturing data to reflect the 2021 performance year for both Kroger manufactured and third-party manufactured private brand products. I don't think I can stress enough that now is the time to look at every product in your portfolio, look at the sustainability of both the product, its ingredients, the manufacturer, and the packaging. Where can we be smarter, faster, leaner, create a better product, taste better? Now's the time to do it. There is just so much going on. And I would not make the assumption that any of this is going to cost you more. You simply don't know without the data. Let's take the time to do the work. As I told you at the Sustainability Summit, this was what a large part of the conversation was about. And we understand that the collaboration that is necessary between the retailers and the manufacturers is monumental. It will require partnerships, it will require technology, and we all have to work together to get it done. But this could be the moment that private brand finally takes the lead. That's it for our stories this week. Thank you very much for joining me for Velocity this week. If you would like to stay up to date with the world of retailer-owned brands, hit that subscribe button. I'm Christopher Durham for Velocity Institute this week.